So for my travel sketches, I've managed to make sure that everything fits into one handy little bag, but I wanted to show you what is inside, as it's been really good for our holiday in Spain. So everything that I bring fits inside this little bag with a little zip on the top to keep it secure. It's waterproof and can fit loads in there. So I've emptied it all out now to show you. So I always bring loose pieces of paper in case I wanted to do some artwork outside of my sketchbook. These are really good for using as palettes as well if you're mixing any colours, or if you wanted to test something out, doing little swatches with the pencils. So they always go in. I always take my watercolours. This is my favourite set. It is the Winsor & Newton set, and that closes. It's quite compact in itself, although it's long, but it fits perfectly in the bag. I always take a water sprayer. Sometimes I have quite a long one. This is the one that I have this time, and that fits in perfectly. Some washi tape, although I don't use it very often, I always like to have it in case I've done any loose artwork and I wanted to stick it into my sketchbook, so I always put that in there. A rubber, again, hardly use that because I don't really bring any sketching pencils with me, but it's nice to have. I bring an arrangement of brushes, so I just go for my favourites every time. You can see some of them are really messy, the bristles are all twisted, but sometimes I feel like that's good when you're out on location doing paintings because you can get some nice textures. So I always bring some like round headed brushes, some flat ones, and then I have one angled brush and two long thin bristled brushes. So they go in. Water brushes, I've started to use these less, however they're really handy to have, especially if you're going to do anything like when you're in the car and you don't have that sprayer available. So I always bring like a flat tipped one and a really sharp pointed one, and these are really old and have seen better days. They go in there. I also bring bulldog clips. They're just so handy for keeping the pages open, especially if it's windy. So I have one pretty one and two blue ones in there today, and they go in. I bring one acrylic paint pen in my favourite colour, green. This is just so handy for blocking out any shapes or spaces. It also helps to add in shadows if I've missed them, and it really helps things to pop. So it is a bullet tip one. I bring these two brush tip brushes. They are by Lyra Aqua Brush Duo. So they're a brush tip on this side and a bullet tip on this side. And I have those in blue and my favourite colour, green. Next is my sketchbook. So this is a Talens Art Creation sketchbook. This is the sketchbook that I use all the time. I have had these in many different colours, and this time is a blue one. I started this one on this holiday, so that's really exciting. So I've done some artwork in there, so that goes in there. And then the last but not least is my pencils. So I always bring just a selection. I always bring my favourites. I could probably bring less next time, but my favourite kind of pencils are these Derwent drawing pencils. I have an arrangement of colours in those. I have one Posca pencil in purple, which is lovely for shadows. It fits really nicely with greens. I have some, what's this one? Oh, I also have some Faber-Castell pencils in there. They fit in that bag. So with all of that in there, zipped up, it's perfect and ready to go in my bag. So I hope that was helpful for you to see all of my art materials that fit inside this little bag.